Thank you for listening to Lone Star Community Radio. This program was broadcasted and recorded live from the LSCR studios in downtown Conroe, Texas. Lone Star Community Radio is supported by listeners like you. Donate and sponsor today. For more information on getting involved with Lone Star Community Radio, contact us at lscrstudios@gmail.com or visit us online at www.irlonestar.com.
Welcome to the Texas Ticket Show. This is Armando. I'm with my co-host, Wes Cernosek. Welcome.
Hey, Armando. How are you, sir?
Man, fantastic. It's good to see a familiar face here today.
Good to see you, too.
And how things been?
It's been all right. It's been great. It's summertime already. It's sizzling outside.
Oh, it's hot. It's hot. And Wes, tell the audience a little bit about Wes Cernosek.
Man, I'm actually the owner of a dirt company, Dirt-Logic. We do commercial building. I've lived and born and raised in Montgomery basically all my life. Went from kindergarten to graduated high school. My mom was a school teacher. Never left the area really more than a year or two.
Yeah, I remember your mom used to let us play in the baby pool out in the front yard on 105, and we didn't. I remember that no diaper photos that she was showing people.
Yeah, 105 is not the same.
Yeah, it's not the same. Back in the day, we get out there, don't get on the street, and it was like, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, 2 lanes. Now
7
it's 10 lanes.
7, 10, and there's like a thing that's 7, 8. Yeah, it's a lot of lanes. It's a whole different place now. Have you seen the new fence around April Sound they're putting up?
I see it. Going
Man, that's a wall. That ain't a fence.
I guess it's to block the sound. Maybe people complaining.
I don't know. I would imagine.
I don't know why they changed the regular white fence, but it was old maybe. Who knows?
They were saying something about hopping. Well, it was. It was.
People hopping the fence.
Yeah, they were hopping fences coming and going. It wasn't a real deterrent.
Well,
to,
everybody used to hop it to go to the bar. Well,
or
the bar across the street.
Or Circle K or something. What was it at the time? Stop and go. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Valero, Stop and Go, Circle K. It's Valero Circle K now.
Yeah.
Out there on Highway 105 West, and I that whole area has changed so much. That Water Point Center has grown up quite a bit. And that's kind of like our.
They just purchased the property across the water there too to expand.
Really? Where the pirate boat is and all that over there? Mm-hmm. They bought that?
Yeah, 13 acres.
And, that property is doing a lot of good things here in the community. They're helping a lot of folks. And I wanted to bring up the Victory for Veterans Ride coming tomorrow, a Saturday morning from 8 to 10 over at – it kicks off at Hunger Crush. It's a 150-mile ride for veterans. And they're still taking registrations. You want to bring your vehicle out for it or your bike. It's a bike primarily, but they're doing classics this year too. Okay. So their bikes and cars are going all the way out to the National Forest, which is Montgomery, take a right, past the ballparks. And then you go back there, you go all the way past West Sandy Creek Winery, and you keep on going to Richardson. And they're going all the way back there, and they're coming back to Conroe to J&B Cycles here in town.
Oh, wow.
149-mile ride. There's a dice roll. There's all kinds of stuff. And it goes to 100% to help veterans. And just in Memorial Day that just passed, they were putting a rose on every grave. Every grave, yeah. And I thought, man, what a cool thing, other than the wind and weather was so bad. But, it's the heart that counts and the effort and what they do. And I know a lot of places, they didn't experience the same thing everybody else did. But I love the thought, and it's just, how do you honor the dead? How do you honor those that have given it all? What do you do? I mean, how can we,
I don't think we do enough.
And I'm up for some creative ideas. And I thought this was a good one and, a good way to give a little love or at least show some care. I mean, the rose and, bringing that attention to those that have given everything they've got. And, we're a Marine Corps family at my house. And now my son's back and everybody else. And, my brother's Navy, Greg, Dad's Air Force. And so we're feeling that. And I think the biggest fear is that I hope nobody gets hurt,
That's right.
But, they're here for a reason. They're here to look after us. And those that have gone, done a lot of – so we could just sit here and do this and have the freedom to speak and engage with guests and pray to the Lord, do whatever we want to do. You know what I mean? This freedom comes at a cost. So we're grateful, honoring those from Memorial Day that's passed. Thank you for that. And if you want to honor some veterans that are still alive and those that have passed, you come out to that veteran ride over at kicking off at Hunger Crush. They're doing registrations right there at the beginning, 8 a.m. on Highway 105 West at the Water Point Center. But let's get this show started. We've got quite a show. We've got some folks in the studio right here. We've got Harry Maurer and Carol Ann Maurer. Conroe Conjuring. Conroe Conjuring. Welcome to this show.
Well, thank you. It's nice to be here.
I'm glad you made it out. I really am. I know y'all have a lot on your plate.
Real magicians.
Yeah.
He's a wizard, Harry.
A wizard.
How often do you get to meet a magician in your studio?
This is amazing.
Woo! I know a little bit of magic myself. Yeah, I don't want to show up anybody here. You know, I don't want to ruin like a cookie cutter trick that you already know or anything like that. But you're beyond this parlor game, if you will, and not completely, but I think in the business sense, you guys bring a lot of branches to the tree, and you're doing the evening with dinner at Pelota's, and you're doing the Margaritaville event, and several other events like this. Right?
And the Owen, yeah.
And the Owen Theater.
Yeah, of
And
course.
the Owen Theater.
Yeah.
No, actually, the Margaritaville shows we're doing every single Saturday. Every Saturday night we're there. And
Every Saturday.
I'm performing every Saturday,
wow.
and then once a month we bring acts in from all over the country, and those are the ones that we take on tour, and we bring them to Pelota's Italian Grill. We take over their banquet room and make it into a little showroom, and actually it's an intimate show with 50 people.
I love that idea.
And then we do the Owen Theater, where we do their shows in between their major productions. So in between their productions, we take over the stage, and once a month we do our evening of magic, and it's a lot of fun. And we've done that now for about a year and a half, or actually almost 2 years. And then at Margaritaville every single Saturday night, and then I'm performing every Saturday night.
Where in Margaritaville you at in there?
We actually took over the Paradise Auditorium.
Theater. Yes,
it's a
the
theater
theater.
there.
Ooh,
And
yeah,
we take it
yeah.
over.
That's the glass wall that faces the lake?
No. It's actually really done. It's really meant for really corporate presentations.
Okay.
And they have a stage there with a screen and things like this. And we dress
Fantastic.
it up like a stage, like a theater, really. And when they come in, there's music playing. It's great videos that come on the screen and stuff like that. And by the time the show starts, everybody's really into it. It's a lot of fun.
And you said this is every Saturday. Tell me the hours. When does this
what time?
happen?
The show starts at 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock at night, runs about an hour and 15 minutes.
Oh, wow.
And everyone is welcome. A lot of people aren't aware.
No.
And this really surprises me that people aren't aware that if you're not a member of Margaritaville or you're not staying at Margaritaville, they think you can't get in. And
Oh, so it's open to the public. Oh, great.
Yeah, a lot of people aren't aware of that. And it's really interesting to me because they said, I thought you had to be staying there to see the show.
Or you have a day pass, and it's like, no, you
Yeah.
can come and see the show.
Yeah.
Oh,
And not
that's
only
awesome.
that, but if you come see the show, they give you 20% off in the restaurants.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
With the
Yeah.
ticket. So, I mean, it's a great deal.
But it's an adult, sophisticated magic. We don't take anyone under 5 because little children just don't understand that
Yeah.
type of sophistication. So
Yeah, get a babysitter is my thought. You know,
Yeah.
I
Right.
got kids. I
Yeah.
understand. I mean, I don't want to bring my kids to that.
I think some of the
I think
impressions
it's
that people have
difficult.
about magicians is they think it's children's entertainment, and it's really not.
Oh, I see
I mean,
what
if you
you
go to Las
mean.
Vegas, the best shows in Las Vegas are the magic shows. I mean, Copperfield's been there for I don't know how many years now, and by the way, his personal wealth now is $1 billion.
Wow.
That's his
Wow.
personal wealth right now, and he's still doing shows every single night in Las Vegas.
Okay, you brought it up. Let's talk street magicians and
Okay.
other magicians first before
Sure.
we move forward with whatever you want to talk about. All right,
Bring it on.
David Blaine. Let's
David
start with
Blaine.
him. Street magic. What are your thoughts on that where he just brings things on fire? You know,
It's not a style of magic that I prefer. You know, I kind of miss the elegance of the magic, where you see-
Classic.
Well, not classic, but classier magic. Let's say.
Okay.
I mean,
Oh,
he's
that's
a street. It's kind of grunge magic, and it's okay. And there's a style for that, and it appeals to certain people. I don't think that if you saw a full show of his live, I don't know if it would be as entertaining as what you're seeing on TV. Just because I know he's very deadpan. He's kind of laid back kind of a style.
do you feel like if you visited a tribe of Aborigines that they might be also very interested in your work?
Yeah, actually,
Wow.
we
I
were.
would think so.
We were in Jamaica. We were in Jamaica, and they wanted to make a religion out of me.
yes.
Wow.
Yes.
You know, and I don't know if you've seen David Blaine. He's done this,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
He went
Yeah.
out to some folks and you know, the water. He did the opposable thumb. You know, that I've seen this trick. I mean, I know this trick, and I'm not a magician. And I'm like, well, they were completely fascinated. It was 100% the real deal.
Oh yeah.
He just made water. You know, we're so thirsty. You know, I don't know. It just seems that would have been an easy play. Okay, so the other thing, David Blaine does a lot of these type of levitation tricks. And what are your thoughts on this particular trick?
Well, he doesn't necessarily invent those tricks.
No,
There's
no,
other
I
people who've done
understand,
them. And there's people who do amazing
But
tricks.
street levitation seems different than the theatrics of a stage and a prepared. Like your Pelota's event seems like I didn't bring that. You know what I mean? It's independent. There's nothing behind me. This isn't my studio. I mean, if I had my own building, you know, I could make the floor move. You know what I mean? If I had my own place, you know, I could
Harry
prepare. But
levitated
street.
me in our garage. We did the 50th anniversary for the
Really?
Houston Medical Center.
Yes, and for Barbara Bush.
And the
Wow.
agent that hired us wanted to see the illusion before we even brought it in.
Here are the conditions. He says, can you do something? He says, we can't have anything set on stage. Can you do something on stage where you can actually float a patient in midair and make it look like an operating room of the future?
Would have been on my list.
And
yeah.
so he didn't think, I said, yeah, I could do it. And he didn't believe me. So I said, all right, give me a week, come over to my garage.
I wouldn't believe you
Come
either.
over to my house.
Yeah.
So we did. So I came over to the house, and I had Carol Ann laying on top of what looked like an operating table. And we had a green cloth.
Not the
laid
first time
across
that's
her.
happened, huh,
All
Carol?
these- All these computer monitors were there that we slid out of the way that was holding up that board. And now she's literally floating in midair. And the agent was no further away than you were from me. And I said, do me a favor, because my back was to the garage door. I said,
Okay.
push the button and open the garage door. And he did. You can see straight across the
And
street.
he's like,
and she's
"Dang!"
hovering in midair right in front of him, no further away than you are from me.
That's
and he was like,
outstanding.
this is a done deal. It was
Yeah.
great. So we did it. And we had lasers were going all over the place, and it was a lot of fun.
Barbara Bush loved it. She
Yeah.
was right in the front row.
Yeah,
so
I
it
bet.
was, so yeah, levitations can be done anywhere.
That's
You just have to
cool.
have the right magician.
Okay, so last David Blaine question.
Okay.
Right, last David Blaine, when I want to move on to a different magician, I have questions. About.
All right.
But the trick where he throws the cards and one appears on the inside of the glass.
Isn't that great?
What?
Yeah.
In the
Isn't
world?
that
How is this-
great?
Do you have any
There are
fathom
different
of this
versions of that.
tricks,
Yes,
for
and I
instance?
have a version of that.
Yes.
Okay, all right, all right.
Yeah.
All right. Enough said.
Copperfield does too, doesn't David Copperfield? He did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Copperfield did it as well. So
He did it with, I believe, with a baseball card, I believe.
yeah, and wasn't it on a train?
That'd be a nice
On a
twist.
train,
Yeah,
on
on
the
a
outside
train.
of the train, where it was on the
Oh,
as the
yeah.
train was
Cooler.
moving, it was on the outside of the train.
Yeah.
That's even cooler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's harder. It seems like they blow away. You know.
Yeah, Google it. You'll see it.
I'm
You'll
gonna
see it.
Google
I have a
Yeah.
trick I do in my show where we have a jumbo deck of cards. So it's not just a small card. You have a jumbo card, and the guy selects a card. He tears it into little pieces. He keeps a piece of it, and a picture frame that we've handed into the audience and let them examine it. And we put a piece of paper across the front of it and hang it on a hook so it's isolated from everybody. And he tears the card into little pieces, and he keeps one piece of the card, and the rest of it we just set on fire. And we hold it under the frame, and the frame just bursts into flames, and all of a sudden the restored card is inside the frame, missing one piece.
Oh wow.
And I take it out, and he hands me the one piece, and I hold it up, and it's an exact match. It's the card, and the audience goes nuts. Yeah.
yeah, that's.
Yeah.
What do you got? What's your favorite magic all time?
So the shows that you're doing, go back to Margaritaville.
Yeah.
What type of magic is performed there? Are you doing something different every Saturday? Or
No,
is it-
because again, the audience, the people who come into Margaritaville are going to change over every single week.
True,
So
right.
we can do the same shows, but again, once a month we'll bring in a different act. So if people
okay.
want to come back and they want to see something completely different, they can. But the shows are always the style of magic I enjoy is interactive. Comedy, magic, entertainment. And it's not something that's going to insult people. It's the kind of things that's just fun. And you get to experience things that you would never really experience in real life, which is a lot of fun. One of the tricks that Carol Ann does, which we may do it at the O at some point, but anyway. No, because you have to find somebody with a jacket who's wearing
Oh,
a
don't
jacket.
give my trick away.
Oh, it's a
Then
fun
don't
trick.
see it. Don't
If we're gonna
give
give
my
a trick away, it's gonna be Carol.
Not
in
mine.
the right environment where people are wearing jackets.
Seminary.
You want to set somebody up for this, but they literally tie her up with 25 feet of rope. I mean, they tie her hands behind her back, they tie it around her neck, they lace her arms to her body. They tie her up. And then I have a curtained hoop that I set onto the stage. Carol Ann steps inside of it, and the guy steps in front of her, and he's not set up in any way. And I just say, your job is just face front, smile, and pretend you're having a good time. And I lift up the curtain, and I count to 3. And when I drop it, his jacket's gone. And he steps away, and the jacket is now on Carol Ann
Under the
underneath the
rope.
ropes.
Wow.
And he has to untie every single knot that he tied
get his jacket
to verify that it's his jacket and it's the knots that he tied. So it's-
I have caused so many marital arguments because the wife will say, "How was it? How did you do?" She must have said, and they go, "I don't know how it was. I didn't even know my jacket was gone." And so people are arguing all the way out of the theater. You must have known how it's done. done? And the guy goes, no, I have no idea. So as long as there's people wearing a jacket, sometimes we don't get to do it because people aren't wearing jackets
So
these
make
days.
a note, wear a jacket to the magic show.
Wear a jacket
Wear a
to the
jacket.
magic show.
Or I may or may not do it now that Harry's given it away.
I don't know what's given away. I'm looking forward to seeing it. You know, wow.
I mean, all the other shows are fun, and all the entertainment that we do is. I think I have a blast doing it, and I know the performers that we bring in are having a ball. Tonight is going to be Nathan Comarsh.
Tomorrow night.
No, tonight. Friday
Tonight,
night.
Friday night. At
Friday
the
night
Oh, that's
Theater
right.
is Nathan Comarsh.
Nathan Comarsh.
Nathan Comarsh,
Okay.
and he was on NBC, CBS, Fox TV. He was on Penn and Teller's "Fool Us." He's performed for the military overseas. He's performed, I think, 37 weeks or something like that in Hawaii at resorts in Hawaii.
Whoa, break my arm. I
yeah.
mean, wow.
Yeah,
And
so
he's just coming off a cruise ship now and flying in to do this gig.
Yeah,
and
he's gonna
then
do this.
Next month is somebody from New Zealand. So we've got it's not
That's
local.
actually in August. We have somebody
Yeah.
from New Zealand coming in, and
Yeah.
actually also Australia really. And his name is J. Scott Barry. But they're like again, come out to the show. I'll give you tickets. You see the show.
Yeah,
You'll have fun.
absolutely.
Yeah.
That sounds fantastic. Now, moving on, let's go back in time a bit. You know, like Houdini times and things like this, and other magicians that really put their own lives in harm's way
Oh,
to
yeah.
make a trick happen. Do you have any magic like that, where you put yourself
I do.
in a perilous position?
The
What
bullet
might that be?
catch.
I've done a version of the bullet catch,
Yeah.
which
I don't even know what that
is the most dangerous.
Oh,
trick.
that's one Penn and Teller did, and
Penn and
I
Teller
think
do it.
Houdini did it as well,
Yep.
where he caught the bullet.
Well,
in his
actually,
teeth.
Houdini did not do it because actually his mentor, who was a magician named Keller, said, "Please do not do this trick because so many people have died." And out of respect, he didn't do the trick. He didn't do the trick.
Okay, so tell me about the trick.
The trick itself normally is done with well, at the time, let's bring it back in time and historically, is he would have military people come on stage, and he'd have, at one point in time, he had people bring their own guns, and they could actually inspect the guns, and they would take the, and again, we're going to talk about the real period of time with the muzzle-loading guns, where they would take the ball, the actual ball, and they would take a knife, and they would carve their initials into the bullet itself. Then they would load it into the gun themselves, and they would load it with the wadding and all the powder and all of that and the ramrod and all that stuff. And the magician would stand on the other side of the stage, and he says, "I want you to aim right here." And he does, and they fire the gun, and there's a loud explosion, and he ends up catching the bullet in his teeth. And he drops it onto a plate, and they carry it over, and it's got the exact markings in it.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's the bullet.
So you
bullet
do a
catch.
modern rendition of this?
I did a
You do
version.
it?
AK-47.
I did a version. Well, I'll tell you a story about that too. I did a version. It was with an air rifle.
Well,
Okay,
he,
because again,
he
you can't.
did it up until we were taken off a plane.
Well,
Go
I'll
ahead.
tell that story.
Yeah.
But the trick itself was with an air pistol that shoots a target dart at 300 feet per second.
Sure.
And they're all different colored darts, and people can select one, and they take a marker, and they actually mark it onto the bullet themselves, and they load it into the pistol themselves. Okay, and it's an air pistol, so I stand on the other side of the stage with a balloon, and I hold a balloon in front of me, and they fire it, and I catch the dart in my teeth, and I drop it on the plate, and they inspect it, and it's the same dart. So I would do that for a while, and I hadn't done it in quite a while since then. But we were actually doing cruise ships. We work on cruise ships quite often.
Cool.
And we were on a
British Airways.
yeah, it was British Airways. British Airway flight. And because
Way
I
to go,
know they
Carol.
book things last minute, the cruise lines, that I know that if they have seats available and with the amount of travel that we do, if you ask, they'll bump you up to first class. So I asked, and they said, "What seat are you in?" And I told them, and they said, "Okay, we'll let you know." So we go onto the plane, and we're sitting in our seats, and the guy in a red jacket comes up and says, "Mr. Maurer, can you come with me?" And Caroline's like,
Oh, yes. We're getting first class.
so I get up and I'm walking into first class, and he keeps walking, so I have to keep following. So he goes walking down onto the tarmac, and I got to walk down the staircase as well. And all of a sudden, I'm flanked by 4 other people, and they're all in red jackets. And they'd say, "Mr. Maurer, what do you have in those cases we loaded onto the plane?" I said, "Magic equipment. I'm a magician. Why?" He said, "Do you have a gun in there?" And I went, "Yeah, I do." And here's exactly what I said. I said, "It's an air pistol, and I use it in my show. Somebody actually marks a dart, loads it into the pistol, fires it at my face, and I catch the dart in my teeth." And he went, "Oh, okay." And then he sent me back onto the plane again. He says, you just have to let us know that you have a gun in there.
Does that mean I
Who
get
do you
first
let know when you
class?
walk into the airport?
Yeah.
You tell anybody at the airport. You
So I didn't get
already in
first class,
jail
but I
before you
didn't
even
go to
make it the
jail.
plane.
So that was the important
Yeah.
part.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a plus. You still get to your destination.
Yeah.
So we don't travel with that anymore.
No, we don't. We
Yeah,
don't.
you go through security. Yeah, I have a gun in here.
That's
Yeah.
right.
That's probably
It's
not
not
gonna-
worth.
you'll never make it to the
It's
plane.
not worth the 5 minutes of magic
Right.
for the 30-minute interrogation. Yeah.
Well, we had the guillotine at the airport after 9/11.
Yeah, we did.
Guillotine
That
at the
was-
airport.
Oh yeah, no, right
man.
after 9/11, we
We
were
did
actually booked
Vegas.
at the Tropicana Hotel in Las Vegas, and I didn't know whether or not we were going to be able to do the gig because Vegas was closed down.
Yeah.
In fact, they had no idea when they opened up Vegas. They had laid off 40,000 people. So literally, managers were making beds and doing whatever they could to get to accommodate people because they got packed. I mean, these are gamblers. They don't think we're going to get hit twice. So they're gamblers. So I flew in and did my gig, but every bag had to be inspected. You know, this was the time.
Okay.
This is the first instance of all of this. So there was a line all outside Las Vegas, and this is in September, so it's
Outside
it's
the
boiling
airport,
hot.
they were giving people water because people were
handing
passing
water
out
you're
in
out there
line.
for hours. And
Yeah.
so I get up there, finally flying home after the gig. I'm flying home, and I'll tell you a story, by the way, by doing the gig. Let me say that
Finish
first.
the story, yeah.
Yeah, I'll finish the story first, and I'll tell you that. So I get up to the person who's going to inspect the bags. They say, Mr. Maurer, what do you have in that case? I said, I've got a guillotine, a severed head, and a bloody carpet. And they said, you can go to jail for kidding. I said, I'll open it right now. I got a guillotine, a severed head, and a bloody carpet. And they saw in this case it says the comedy magic of Harry Maurer. They said, okay, go ahead. but
You want to do the show? I'll do it right here if I have to.
But in Vegas, and I'll tell you the value of entertainment that you don't really realize is I was in Vegas right after 9/11. We're doing a show, and it's in a comedy room where people are just having fun and finally getting the chance to laugh. And in between shows, we're doing 2 shows a night, 3 shows on Friday and Saturday. And I'm going back to the elevator to go to my room in between the shows. And a lady came over and grabbed me, and she said, and she had tears in her eyes. She says, I really want to thank you. She said, my husband has not even smiled since 9/11. And this is the first time I've actually got to see him laugh. And it was so
that's
powerful.
Yeah.
It was so
really
powerful.
was.
Yeah.
It's a great feeling. It's a great feeling to bring that Joy
Yeah.
to the
Yeah.
folks, you know, and I think that's a satisfying thing as well as a full crowd. You know, when I see a good capacity crowd and I know I'm bringing joy to folks that maybe need to find
Yeah.
odd ways to find it that are just out of the norm. And one of the things I think is part of the culture is to have a pairing. And some magicians are just, the whole show is just being a magician, but others are contortionists, acrobats, they're comedians. There's always a, what would you call the guy with the puppet?
Ventriloquist?
Ventriloquist.
Yes.
The list goes on and on,
Yeah.
right? On
Yeah.
on the pairing between magic and an act, you know, and adding to the act in some ways. But I think being an entertainer and bringing joy to an audience can have a lot of varieties. And I tell me a little bit about why comedy is that outlet for you.
Comedy and magic work on the same principle, which is surprise. You know, a punchline of a joke is you're surprised.
Oh, yeah.
And magic, when something finally happens or something's revealed, that's a surprise. So it hits you on both levels, and it hits you in your mind with the comedy because you're laughing about stuff like this, and also it hits you just really cerebrally, thinking about how could that possibly happen. I mean, when you have the possibilities happening in front of you, it's remarkable. It really is remarkable.
So I see you brought your oversized mouse pad.
I did. This just keeps me nice and neat here.
Yeah.
You know,
in case
I
you
really-
want to
I
have
really-
a snack or something.
I really didn't bring. I
you
really
want to
didn't.
dirty the table.
I really didn't bring much with me. In fact, I'll do something with nothing.
Oh wow! Let me move this out of the
Okay.
way.
This way, everybody on radio can see it.
Something.
Everybody
Okay.
on radio can see
Wes,
this.
you want to try it?
For those of you at home
All right,
watching
here.
on radio,
Pick a card. Now, there's no deck here, but just take one out. All right. I want you to look at it, and you have to remember it. You know your card?
I know my card.
All right. I'm going to take the deck. Now, remember, there's no deck here. I'm going to take the deck. I'm going to turn it face up, and I'm going to fan it out. I want you to put your card face down in the face up deck. I won't look. Go ahead. Is it there?
Okay.
All right. You want to cut the deck?
I do.
That's enough. Now, I've got a deck of cards. All right. Before I came in here, I took one card in the deck. I took one card and I turned it upside down. Now, wouldn't it be amazing if the card that I turned over about maybe 20 minutes ago, if that were the card you've just selected, Wes, that would be amazing, wouldn't it? Say yes.
That would be amazing.
Thank God you're here. Okay, I'm going to tell you something. This works 100% of the time. I don't know why, it just does. Out of 52 cards, one card in that deck is turned over. You have a card in your mind, a free choice. Now, I'll warn you, a lot of times when I ask someone to think of a card on the spot, quite often they'll say something like the Ace of Spades, a real obvious card. Were you thinking the Ace of Spades?
No.
Oh, shoot. Okay, it could still work. It's okay. Okay.
51 left, yeah.
One card is turned over. Works 100% of the time. For the first time, Wes, what was the card you had selected? What was your card?
The Queen of Hearts.
The Queen of which?
Queen of Hearts.
This works 75% of the
5%.
I'm not going to lie to you. There is a card turned over. I'm going to go through the whole deck. As I go through the cards, I want you to notice something, because the cards themselves are facing the same direction. Every card is turned face up in this deck, except for one card. We're looking for the Queen of which one?
Queen of Hearts.
I'll go through the whole deck. There should be one card. There's one card upside down. I'm not going to touch it. Could you pull it out? What is that? Go ahead.
It's the Queen of Hearts.
The Queen of Hearts.
Oh, that's pretty good.
He's a wizard. He is a wizard.
You are a
He is a wizard.
I knew it.
Yeah.
He's the real deal.
That keeps me off the streets. I'm not going
Man,
to
I
say.
should have wrote that down so I could see it on video that everybody could have seen. That was.
I saw what
that
you
was,
showed me earlier.
So I have a question for both of you. Did you
Yeah.
ever do magic as a little boy? Did you ever get a magic kit? That's how Harry
Oh, I
started.
did.
Did you?
Yeah.
I think every young kid has. at
I
one
think it's
point
the
or another.
law. Grandparents or parents have
Right.
to give you a magic trick, and I honestly think that every little boy had one, but now little girls are having them too.
Yeah, I remember
Harry
playing
has
the card trick, 52 card pickup.
Oh, yeah.
I got filled
Ooh,
into that
magical.
Yeah.
Magical. Yeah. Okay, so I know a trick, and it's one of David Blaine's tricks, and
Okay.
I'll share it.
All right.
Because it's my list of
Are you
magic.
going to levitate?
I thought about doing that one, but I'm going to hold out because I just want
Hold
to
that
save
one
that
for
for a
later.
later
Yeah.
episode. But so the trick really was where he would cut his hand, and then the person would turn their hand over, and the blood would be in their hand.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
this trick. So basically, it's a pinprick in the thumb, and then you hold their hands, and you tell them to turn it over, and then you kind of transpose the dot of blood on your finger into their hand when you tell them how to behave.
Okay.
Right. And so you say, don't turn your hands over, do exactly as I tell you, and then you do the trick, and then you back your hands off, and you say, so I want you to do this, and then you, did you feel that? They're like, no, I didn't feel anything. Check that hand right there. And they turn it over, and it's got blood in it. They're like, oh my God! You can do it with ashes or anything like that. It's a real simple, pinprick or, thing like that. And you make a nice, easy little trick. But it's always about the staging and the theatrics of it, the way a person delivers the trick, the magic.
Of course. I mean, the trick itself is nice, but it's the
Delivery's
presentation that makes it great.
Yeah, 99%. Because I've done it where it was just, you just got that out of that ashtray right there. I'm like, dang it. I turn your hand over, like, dang it. Little things that give me away, that I know that a professional wouldn't, could perform the same trick and I've seen it done in a professional way that looks amazing versus my
But
Boy
something,
Scout
there's
version.
nothing wrong with learning magic to entertain your friends. It's really fun because magic is a lot of fun. I have had doctors, I've had lawyers, I've had people come up to me saying, "Can you teach me some magic to be able to show somebody?" Because they just want to be able to have some fun as well. And so it's great to be able to learn simple magic. A lot of the magic that you do as a performer, as a professional magician, takes years to learn. Yeah. You can't learn this kind of stuff.
And you're talking
in
about
a
this
day.
smooth delivery. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, I think they showed you the trick in a paragraph, right?
Yeah.
I would assume, but the delivery of making it completely smooth. Where you can't see the seams, you can't see the details, and
Right.
the stitches, and the trick.
Well, the important thing also, like I said, is the presentation. You got to. The goal is to entertain people. Even if the trick doesn't work, your goal is to entertain people.
Right? Who's your favorite all-time musician? Who's the best magician?
The magician who I actually learned from, who's my mentor, was the Amazing Randy, if you've ever heard of the Amazing Randy. Wow. Randy was the one who actually proved that Uri Geller, this psychic, was a fraud. And
wow.
he actually for years carried around a check for $1 million. That's a guaranteed check for $1 million he can give to anybody if they proved they had any psychic abilities whatsoever. He would give it to them under test conditions. and nobody's ever been able to claim it. They've tested, they proved them they were frauds. I remember one guy, and they did this on national TV. He had a phone book, and it was open, and he was able to just concentrate and think, and the pages would turn. And,
Oh, wow.
and that was amazing, and he wanted to be tested. So Randy said, okay, we'll test him. So they did this on national TV. They put the phone book on the table. They had the guy sitting there, and Randy took out a coffee can, and inside were those styrofoam popcorn, stuff for packing. Just spread it around the table. Because all the guy was doing was blowing on it and making the page turn over. But you couldn't see him do it.
Popcorn
So the popcorn, the styrofoam popcorn was there, and naturally nothing happened. He also, on Johnny Carson's show, Uri Geller was there, and Uri Geller was going to come onto the show as a guest, and Johnny Carson's a magician. A lot of people aren't aware of that. He actually was a very talented magician.
Yes.
In fact, I just came back from the Magic Castle in California, which is a magician's private nightclub, and they have a display case with some of Johnny Carson's props in it, with him doing magic and stuff like that.
Like the big hat.
They got that too.
They got
They
the
do.
big hat. It was
Karnak.
Karnak the Magnificent.
Karnak. Yes.
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 Ashley Cernosek, Home Logic, Dirt Logic, will be on our show later today. Ashley Cernosek's going to be on the show today, folks. There it is. Yeah. That was the magic Karnak, you said.
Karnak the Magnificent.
The Magnificent.
But he was having Uri Geller on, so he called Randy, and because Randy told him what to do. He says, "Don't let him go. If you're going to bring silverware out, because Uri Geller was famous for bending silverware and things like this. He said, don't use any of the silverware that's in the the cafeteria there. Go out and buy special ones." They said film canisters that he was going to use for something. He says, lock them in the safe and until showtime. So all the stuff that he told Johnny Carson to do, Uri Geller finally comes onto the show, and not one piece of psychic stuff happened. Nothing happened because he couldn't do it. He couldn't rig anything up.
The beautiful part about Randy is that he saved a lot of lives by debunking a lot of psychic healers. So people would go to these psychic healers thinking that they were cured, and they were not cured. So when he debunked a lot of these people then started going to doctors, and I think he saved a lot of lives because of that, and he won the MacArthur Award.
Yeah, gave him a MacArthur Award.
Yes.
Did he really?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
And which he used to open a foundation, basically for research, studying all these psychics and things like this. It was really, he's a brilliant man.
So let's dig a little bit deeper.
Sure.
Do you believe in actual?
I do not.
You do not.
I don't.
No spiritual enlightenment of any kind. None of that.
No.
Do you meditate?
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're faithful people, but
Sure.
we know the difference between having faith and magic.
Certainly.
Yeah.
And it's just where your mind is. I mean, your perspective is yours. I mean, and truly it could come from experiences that are beyond me and beyond other people, I'm sure. Who delves so deep into a topic to find other things. Have you traveled to places that are maybe more in that line of spiritual magic and doing things like
sure.
that in there? And what do you see there that maybe frightens you the most, or is the most odd things you've seen in your travels? I'm sure they want to compare. Here, let me show you what I can do. Show me what you can do. And you show them some whatever magic you have, and then they do something that's like, wow, that's not natural, or that's concerning.
A couple of the experiences I had. I mean, we were in India, and I remembered I saw my first snake charmer, which I've never seen a snake charmer before. And this was so cool because you always read about these guys, and the guy's playing the flute, and you see the cobra actually, dance into the flute like this. And I was just amazed. And
Unmanipulated? Do you think it was clean?
Yeah.
It was clean? You just did it with the instrument?
Yeah. And I sat there, and I was just completely amazed. And I reached in my pocket, and I gave him some money. I said, this was amazing. It was literally on a dirt road, and there's nobody around. And he says to me, you want to pet my cobra? I'm like, no, I don't want to pet your cobra. And I said, why doesn't he bite you? He says, no teeth. He took his teeth out.
Wow.
And then he opened a little matchbox, and he opens it up. He says, look, baby cobras. And they're all inside were these little worm-like things. They're all baby cobras.
He defanged the cobra.
Yeah.
Wow.
There you
So
go.
it didn't
Well, that
matter whether
worked.
it struck him or not. It wasn't going to kill him. But that was a magic trick in itself that
was.
really amazed a magician. So
That's
that was
awesome.
very unusual to see that.
It was fascinating.
Yeah,
That kind of stuff's
and I
fascinating.
think breeding an animal or preparing one like he's showing you from birds. I mean, obviously, this is probably his friend. He kisses him every morning.
Yeah.
The rest was just theater, right?
I'm defanging my wife now. I never thought about it. Never have to worry about that ever
Watch
again.
this.
Wow.
Oh, everybody wants this. You know, but truly, it is astonishing. You know that you could. You know, if I train a gorilla to dance with me, it would be astonishing, and you'd think I just met the gorilla. You know, I mean, nobody even thinks me and the gorilla grew up. I raised it. You know, I mean, that's a different program there, and it's a big commitment. You know, I mean, to raise an animal all the way to birth and then treat it to help you earn a living.
Well, I have a lot of friends who literally have lions and tigers. They raise tigers, and they do that for their shows.
Buster Barsh is going to build his new office, and he is going to have live lions in his office.
You kidding me?
I swear to you.
Buster,
he
you
is
really
dead.
can have live lions?
He is dead set on it. He is,
Boy, they eat a lot.
They
Boy,
do.
I hope he's prepared to
he's a
feed
big
them.
boy.
You need to get a Tyson Farms relationship started.
He is, wow. Yeah.
And you know they build the atriums for them, and you know those kind of animals need to touch grass, kind of like owning Great Danes, which our co-host usually Haley Dunn. And,
Did you have a Great Dane?
I did.
I did too.
Yeah,
I used to raise them too.
yeah, that's right. And you had the miniature Italian one too.
Yeah. That was
I
a
like that little
Italian
guy.
Greyhound though.
He's this big.
I went from Italian Greyhound to Great Danes.
Wow.
This
And
big.
now I have
little-
Labradoodles.
We had a Great Dane. He tripped once, and actually his hip hit the wall and knocked a hole in the wall. That's
yeah.
the way he was. And something
I had to
hap-
put it in a Heimlich to get it outside. I mean, he was like a man. He was like trying to drop his back legs, trying to hold on to the couch. Don't take me out! You know, it's like, wow, this dog's big. You know, and our prayers go out to Haley Dunn's dogs. I think Dior and just got cancer, and so they're working with it now. But I think it's going to be okay. They're doing their thing, and she's not with us today, and we miss you, Haley. And but yeah, it's a really interesting thing to get these big animals to do anything.
Yeah.
You know, I mean they're.
Well, to get any animal. I mean, we had a dog in the show for a while, and he did card tricks.
Alfie the Wonder
Yeah,
Dog.
Alfie
What?
the Wonder Dog. Yeah.
Alfie the Wonder Dog.
Yeah, he was amazing.
Carol Ann was on the road doing some kind of event that she was doing, so I taught the dog a card trick. I taught him a card trick. And so when Carol Ann
what kind of
came
dog is
home-
this?
He was a West Highland Terrier, a white Scotty dog.
And we rescued him.
He was a rescue.
He was
he
a
literally
rescue
walked
dog.
into a friend's bar one day, and
Wow.
yeah, and everybody left, and they realized he was a stray, and walked in, and they couldn't keep him because they had like cats that were just
I hope they gave him a
eating him
drink.
up. No, they said, "Do you want him?" Yeah, they said, "Do you want him?" He said, "Yeah." And sight unseen, we got him. And anyway, I taught them this trick. So I would fan out a deck of cards for Carol Ann. She'd pick any card she wants. She puts it back in the deck. We shuffle the cards up. I fan it out for the dog, and the dog comes over, grabs one with his teeth, and throws it on the ground.
And it's my
her
card.
card. She screamed. He ran in the bathroom, wouldn't come out, and wouldn't do it again for a while.
Well, we don't raise our voices at home, and he had never heard us. He'd never heard me yell or scream before, and he was very frightened
He
when
was
I went,
frightened.
"Oh my God!" And he just took off.
So then we developed that even further. So you would that card. If you think somehow I'm making him select that card, I'll tell you what. We'll take your card and 9 other cards, and you can mix them up. So I don't even know what the order of the cards are.
Okay.
And then one by one, I turn my head, and just one by one, I flip them up and say, "Is that it? Is that it? Is that it?" And when he reaches your, he's studying the cards. When he sees the card, he grabs it, he throws it on the ground, and that's your card. And you think I still have some sort of control over this? We take your card and 2 other cards and fold them in half so the numbers are on the outside, so it's like a little tent. And you take them to the other side of the room and put them in any order you want. And I say to Alfie, I say, "Go find it." And he goes over, and again, he's staring at each card, studying each card, and finally he grabs your card and throws it to the ground.
Wow.
I think I know how this trick's done.
I bet you don't.
How do you think it's done?
You eat order of chicken wings first, and then you.
No.
No.
Somebody asked me that too. They
Yeah.
said well, they had just gotten a dog and they were going to go on David Letterman's show for stupid pet tricks. And they
It's
said,
not chicken
"What did you
wings."
use peanut butter or anything like this?" And I said, "No, it doesn't use anything. I can use any deck of cards."
So somebody else asked this question. Great. Okay.
Yeah, they did. And I can use any deck of cards that you could. I can wash my hands beforehand if you think I have something on my hands,
Yeah.
and it would still work. And I told, because they're magicians, so I told them the secret, and they were like, "That's unbelievable."
But they said we could never train the dog
Yeah.
in 2 weeks to do that. I mean, it takes a certain mentality from the animal and the willingness to want to do it. And when he was in our show, we would ask him, "Do you want to do the show tonight?"
Yeah.
And he would come out and have his little bow tie on. But if he did not want to do the show, it was in our contract he didn't have to do the show.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we never forced him to perform.
So you guys are at Margaritaville tomorrow night, and that starts at 8 p.m., and it goes to show end, and it's open to the public. It's at Margaritaville.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tonight you'll be at the Owen Theater.
Yeah.
And my question is, where do you, how do you make these relationships and bonds with magicians? Do you already know these people? I mean, are they in your like business Rolodex? I mean, other magicians.
Many of them we know because they're sort of on the same circuit that we're in. They work the casinos, they work on different cruise ships.
And you run into them in your adventures and travels and
yeah. And if there's other magicians who those magicians know, and I think that they're going to be strong enough, I bring them in. And I say, yeah, you'd be great for this if you're, if
there are
they're
a bunch
available.
of guys that graduated with you at Hogwarts.
At Hogwarts,
No.
No.
I
don't know. Go ahead.
That's the funny thing too is a lot of people don't realize that magic is such a it's not only a study of sleight of hand and things like this, but there's a lot of education involved. I went to college and studied theater at it's called the Mason Gross School of the Arts at Rutgers University, and I went there. They only accept 50 people a year. 25 in the acting department and 25 in the production department. And everyone had to be interviewed for their final interview. And I said, I'm not here to be an actor. I'm a magician, and I'm here to learn theater to enhance my magic. And whether they were tickled by that or what, they accepted me. And that's where I learned theater, from Broadway coaches, from voice coaches to scenic designers, costume designers, lighting designers, sound designers. Yeah, it's been a really amazing experience.
A huge way to add to that credence of delivery being such a key. I mean, again, I think I know good magic tricks, but I can't deliver them past elementary school grade delivery.
Okay.
So I think I know how that trick was done. I learned how it was done. Because I was curious and I found out. But my delivery is just weak to poor. I do enjoy the parlor tricks and some easy magic because I think that's in my wheelhouse. Right, that's something I could do, right? Which I have no idea how easy other tricks are, and the perspective is my own, and it's just a show goer. It's the guy from the audience. I see it from my lens. I'm sure there's other.
But from what I hear from you though is that you've learned how to do the trick, and that's where most amateurs end it. The professional learns the trick and then starts developing it from there. Just because you know how to do the trick doesn't mean that you're going to perform it. Now you have to learn how to perform it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the trick
So
itself
you've
is
stopped
the trick of the trick.
soon.
The trick is a framework that you start with, and then you have to build the whole house around it. And you got to start saying, okay, this is what we're going to do.
But I think that makes a good show. I mean, you strive for something better, and I think that's the spirit behind a program or a show or anything. You really got to have that energy, to want to be better. I seriously want to be better, and it shows in every production. I hope here.
Well, here's the sad thing too: is you're never satisfied.
Yes.
As an entertainer,
Right.
you're never satisfied. You think, okay, I did a good show, but it's not where I want it to be yet. It's not there yet.
In anything in your life, in any
Yes.
Everybody's that way.
Yes.
Even Copperfield's that way.
it's the same.
Yes.
Yep.
Well, show us a little something. Let me see another magic trick.
Well,
What do you
see
got?
what
You
else-
got a rabbit? You
Well,
got
while he's
I know,
setting up
okay,
for
no,
his
no, I could. Well, no, it's just a. Oh,
Rabbit in the hat.
do you have a dollar? You have a dollar bill?
I do.
Yeah.
I believe I do.
And which camera are we going to use on this, so I know, so they can see it?
That one?
That one? Okay. Okay.
this one right here.
Well, while
this
he's
one, okay.
while he's getting ready for that, you said, how do you find these magicians? Well, they do have to audition. They do have to send us a photo. They do have to send us a bio. They do have to send us their publicity, their credentials, and we have to see a video. We want to know what they're looking like on stage, if they look professional, if they're dressed professionally, if they are a clean act. It has to be family friendly if you're going to work with us. Nothing dirty in the show, nothing highly suggestive. So we vet each and every magician that comes on the stage, and then we decide whether they're good enough to be on the stage.
Yes.
So
That makes sense.
yeah. We want to give a good show
for the whole
each and
family.
every time, but we
Hold
want
up, my
families
money,
to
man.
come.
Go
A
ahead
dollar.
and yeah.
Oh, dollar. Here we go.
Dollar bill. Okay.
I put my
Wes,
wallet
it's
back
your-
in my
it's
pocket.
your-
I don't
your
trust
money,
this
your
guy.
dollar bill.
It's gonna be gone.
My wallet's
Just-
back
yeah,
in my
come on,
pocket.
it's gonna
My
be
wallet's
empty.
back in my
This
pocket.
is new. Did you print this yourself?
I just did. I just did.
Okay. A dollar bill. I'll do this very slowly. Okay. In fact, let me roll my sleeves up. So you don't
Oh.
think I'm- okay. It's a dollar bill.
Okay.
All I'm going to do is fold it. Okay. I fold it in half once. I fold it in half twice. I fold it in half 3 times. 4 times. That dollar bill's never going to leave your sight, so keep your eyes on it, okay? Because as I unfold it, it begins a transformation. In front of your eyes, it transforms itself into a $100 bill.
I like this guy a
Just
lot
like
more
that.
now.
And that's yours.
Wow.
Trick's not done. Because actually, if I take that $100 bill, I fold it once,
profit.
I fold it twice, I fold it thrice, 4 times, it changes back into the same $1 bill, just like we had at the start of the entire routine, just like that, and...
Wow.
Wow.
Bravo!
You can't change it back?
This reminds me of the Hadron Collider. You know, I heard that thing's making gold out of silver or something now. And that's amazing.
Thank
know.
you.
And
That
that's the
costs
reason why I
trillions.
married that man.
He got me on that.
That's right. Piling dollar bills on me, it's a whole day job doing it.
Yeah.
It's a career.
Oh, you could do it 8 hours in the morning, 1 day a week, and I think we're good.
Yeah.
But it's exhausting.
Oh, well. Okay. So I guess we'll wrap up. You have anything else you would like to share with us before we wrap
No,
up?
just I'd love to see. Honestly, come on to the show. You'll have fun.
We'd
You'll
love
Where,
to
where, do we
invite
get, where do we
you.
get tickets? Where do we go to get tickets?
Get the tickets online for Conroe for the show at the Owen Theater.
Okay.
It's www.conroeconjuring.com. That you get tickets right there. And for Margaritaville, it's Margaritavillemagic.com.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So
and
we'd like to
you get
invite you
tickets.
and your listeners to come out. We'd love to see you. Everybody
Yeah,
has
we'll
such a
definitely be
great
there.
time.
Yeah, it
I'm
sounds-
looking forward to it. It sounds like
awesome.
super fun.
Legit.
And you can catch the Pelota's dinner. Tell me a little bit more about that really quick before we finish up, because I eat every day, and this is
It's handy. It'll get you.
Well,
it'll get you
I
through.
think your wife told me it was pronounced Pilates, that people know it as
Pilates.
Pilates.
You know,
Italian.
we know the
Yeah,
owner.
she's
He
something.
says
that was an exercise program.
he doesn't care
I
what
keep
they call
saying
it.
no.
Pilates.
We're not eating at Pilates.
Pilates, tomato.
Right.
Yeah.
What I say?
That shows really, it's interesting because we started that really right during COVID was when that started. And we approached him with this idea because he had this banquet room that was not being used.
Yeah.
It gets used for events periodically, but otherwise it's just sitting there vacant. And I looked at it and said, you know what, we could do a show here. And we made an arrangement where people would come in and $20 of your ticket price goes towards dinner. So in other words, they can have
I love
anything on the
the
menu
idea.
rather than having a set meal saying, okay, you're going to have spaghetti and then come see the show or something like that. They can have anything they want on the menu. Buy anything you want. But $20 of your ticket prices goes towards the meal. Then they have dinner in the restaurant, and once they finish their dinner, they come out and they join us inside the banquet room. And
Oh,
that's
that
all
makes
set
good
up like
sense. That way I don't
it's set up
choke
like
on
a
my,
little
Yeah.
showroom. It's a showroom, and there's music playing as they're coming in, and we greet them and joke around with them at the beginning, and then we perform the show. And the
I
show
saw the
itself is
setting.
really, and the
Yeah.
show's really, it's what would be called technically a parlor show, where it's real
Love the
intimate.
idea.
It's really intimate. So a lot of the stuff that happens could be something like the dollar bill thing where I just did, or something like that. But also you can do some larger things, but you're not going to bring these grand illusions in there.
Yeah.
This is really going to be personality magic that really makes
that's what people want.
enjoy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's
we
what
have
makes it fun.
different magicians every month.
Yeah.
So we have the same people coming, and they go, "Oh, I'm going to be on vacation next month, so I won't see you, but I'll see you the following month." They're like family now. We know them all by
Put that down,
Yeah.
Judith. Yeah.
We know them all by name now.
Oh, I
They
so
come in.
love the idea. I think dinner and a show has been customary since we started eating, and I like when I put on a program, I'll stop what I'm doing. I'm either going to watch a certain show, or if I'm out at dinner, it's usually there's not an option. You know what I mean? Okay, there's nothing to do. I'm just going to eat my way
That's
through
one of the
time.
things I heard in the areas. There's not, there's a lot of music that goes on here in Montgomery County, but there's not a lot of live entertainment that you can go out and have a dinner and see a show.
Yeah, live,
You know?
or real. I mean, like dinner
Yeah.
theater rather than
I mean,
like a movie
periodically
theater.
you'll have some pop-up comedy nights and things like this. And I like dueling pianos. I think that's kind of cool.
Oh yeah,
that they
yeah.
have
that's
Oh, we
there.
love that.
I've seen those.
Yeah, but otherwise, there's not real entertainment other than going to a theater, and seeing a show. So I think what I do fills a niche, and I think it's fun.
Absolutely does. Guys, Harry, Carol Ann, I want to thank you for coming on the show.
Oh, this has
today.
been delightful. We loved it.
really
Thank you for
enjoyed it.
having us.
We
It's been
loved it.
fun.
And
Yeah.
one more time, Owen Theater, what's the website? for the
Owen
tickets?
Theater is, that's going to be conroeconjuring.com.
Okay, Margaritaville, where do I get my tickets?
Margaritavillemagic.com.
Fantastic. Harry, Caroline, thank you so much.
We
God
loved
bless
it.
you.
Nice
I
to meet
appreciate
you.
it. Great to meet
Thanks
you.
for coming on the
Thank
show
you.
today. We'll be back right after this, folks.
Lone Star Radio on my mind. Car enthusiasts of Conroe, FM 104.5 and 106.1 Lone Star Community Radio invites you to shift into gear every Monday from 1 to 2 with Cruising Car Club Talk with Robert and Randy for news on all things automotive in the greater Houston-Conroe area. Can't make a live show? We've got you covered. You can find all of our uncut content, including full episodes on Spotify, iTunes, Play Store, YouTube, Facebook, and irlonestar.com. Again, that's Mondays 1 to 2, Cruising Car Club Talk with Robert and Randy. See you there.
Lone Star Radio on my mind. So won't you kick your feet up if you have a minute?
Welcome back to the Texas Ticket. This is Armando and Wes Cernosek.
Hey, Armando.
Hey, Wes. What's up, baby?
Hey, man. Just got through watching some magic tricks.
Fantastic magic.
Amazing.
In the studio today, we have Ashley Cernosek. I think you know her.
This is my wife. I do know her.
Hello.
The love of my life right there.
Lovely couple here today.
Look at those eyes. Look at those eyes.
Oh gosh, yes. Look.
These eyes.
I wish it was like that every day. That would be nice.
It is.
Yes. Okay.
And you're here to help us with the Love Hills
A
Youth.
foundation that we adore. The owner and founder of Love Hills Youth is a good friend of ours.
Okay.
Yes. Her name is Rebecca Smith. And Love Hills Youth is a nonprofit 501c3 that works with foster children in the system in Montgomery County.
Okay.
And they're working to change the system, even through legislation. So we'll touch on that for a bit as well. Their mission is through love, we heal. The counseling program helps foster care youth rewrite and repurpose their trials and tribulations so they can find acceptance for the present and find freedom from the past. We just know how difficult, we don't personally know, but we can only imagine how difficult it is for those that are the world sort of it leaves children behind, and the system picks them up, and it's not always the prettiest, most luxurious life moving forward for them. So Love Hills Youth likes to step in. They have serviced counseling hours, over 10,000 hours, 10,721 hours since January 2022.
And that's helping direct
counseling for all of the youth, and it's free to anyone that it's provided to. Taxpayers don't take care of it. It doesn't get billed back to anybody. It's all through donations and sponsorships and things like that. Since October of 22, about 807 children have been served in our community alone here in Montgomery County. They're given welcome bags when a kid transitions from one placement. They're able to submit for the bag, and it gives them full-size hygiene products, blankets, towels, water bottles, and so much more that makes them feel at home, and it gives them things of their own, considering they come with typically the clothes on their back.
I know you're here supporting them as a matter of the heart, and I hate to pry too much because I'm not sure that maybe you know. What age brackets normally do you think?
It's all ages.
All ages.
All ages. Yes.
Oh, okay. All right. I had no idea. I know we've had them on a few programs here at Lone Star Community Radio, and we've also had Peyton Riley on the show, who's a big supporter.
Very
of
big. She even wrote a song, "Love Heals," and it's amazing.
Yes,
if you haven't,
I saw
heard it.
I was going to share it, but I was going to wait till after this interview.
No,
I was like,
okay.
is that the same?
Yes.
I just didn't want to put it up because it sounded like it.
Yeah,
I
no,
felt
it's
like I was playing. Yeah,
for them, and
Okay,
it was
great.
written
All right,
and
good.
produced, and it's sung
it's
by
a very
her
good
for
song.
them.
And
Yes.
the video is great too. I
Yes.
saw the video.
It is.
And I know you got more to share. But what about the September event over at the table at
Oh,
Midway?
yes. So that event is the Concert for Love. It's on Sunday, September 28th. It's a free, plenty of time. A free event kicking off at 2 p.m. at the table at Madeley with special guest Peyton Riley performing, and more artists are to be announced as it gets closer to the date.
Tell me how this benefits them.
It's all sponsorship and donations that provide food, a full meal, and drinks and activities and different things for the foster children, for the foster
the money
youth.
goes to
the
them?
money goes directly to support them.
Okay,
it
good.
doesn't go back to anybody.
So
Even
it's
Rebecca,
a way to help. It's a way to help.
Oh, absolutely.
Good. Okay.
Rebecca herself volunteers as CEO. She doesn't take a salary whatsoever from this organization. Yeah, so this is completely from the
real deal.
heart.
The real
Yeah.
deal.
And having all of them down there at the table at Medley. I'd like to influence. I know a lot of musicians watch the show, and I know Peyton Riley's on our Christmas album. Let's put it that way. we have a Christmas album here at Lone Star Community Radio Texas Ticket Show, and she's on it and does such a wonderful job. And I know she's tried to support the group everywhere she goes, and all that she has, and so is other musicians. And I just want to influence them all to contact the table at Medley, ask Frank, and see if he can get out there.
Frank's awesome.
Yeah, Frank Jackson.
If you haven't been there, Table at Medley, you need to go. It's an awesome place.
Yeah,
it's the best outdoor venue we have, period, in Conroe.
And he knows music. He's bringing good stuff. But I want some of these musicians to step up and perform and help out Peyton Riley out there.
Yeah, no, Jeff Canada has been a part of Love Hills Youth, and he adores the foundation just like we do. And he's been a big help.
Good.
At
Maybe
the
we
last
can get
event,
Charlie
actually.
Diggs to come sing La Bamba.
Oh, yeah.
He's really good at that,
He is
actually.
awesome. He is.
He belts out those notes.
I was in Waxahachie first time I saw it.
Really?
Got goosebumps. Yeah.
Goosebumps.
Charlie Diggs, of all people.
I thought it was just because it was cold in there.
It wasn't that cold in there.
Okay.
Interesting.
Alcohol was flowing. I guess it was just La Bamba.
Wow.
Man, I like that song.
Yeah. But yes, so we are excited about that. So that event coming up, we do need sponsors.
Okay.
So our Buster Barsas of the world, we adore him and his businesses. He's very philanthropic and helps anywhere he can. And so we call on those guys of the world too to come help and support and help these foster children know that they are loved. Hugs are not easily or readily available in foster systems and at the different homes. And so we make sure that we provide bear hugs. And it's this a bear hug snuggie that each of the foster children get with their welcome bag. And it just is a little something more to comfort them, to let them know that people do care about them.
But I see you see the heart in it, and so do I. And I know you mentioned, she doesn't collect a salary. I think that's the spirit in it, and it can be measured by its future more than its past.
Yeah.
I think as they get more support, though, that same heart will give more along the way.
Oh,
and,
absolutely.
when does it end? Never. They need everything.
They do.
And there's so much more there. And it's about us and cultivating the good community, doing our part, and getting involved, and making those steps, and sponsoring events that matter to people beyond ourselves. And I think that's a big deal.
Very big deal.
Yeah, and I appreciate you coming and bringing that up for us today,
of course.
and putting some light on that. We've started sharing the links to that since you brought it up to us.
Okay.
And we want to continue to do that, and throughout between here and September, it's a long time. They said it's enough time for people to forget about it. So we maintaining that push. It just never is going to stop between here and September, and then we should turn the calendar and start preparing for the next one.
Yes. They have a annual gala as well. That is.
Okay, good.
Yeah, Power of Love on Friday, January 20th. Yeah, January 23rd of 26. So definitely a long time away, but something to look forward to.
I get it.
In the future, yeah.
The huggy thing. I was like, I need a hug. I was
know.
like going to hug Wes, but I thought it was kind of, not
I'll give
appropriate.
him
Don't hug me. I'm fine. I'm good. Don't hug me, bro. But you know what I mean. Everybody likes that, and it's so much apprehensive behavior that just doesn't let people connect like in the old days. That we try to be distant. I don't know. It just,
and I'm a hugger.
Touch some grass, give a hug, give a handshake, get close, get to know people, and we're supposed to pack work. We are a pack. And I think supporting this group is a huge deal. And there's a Matthews Light and a few others here in the community that are doing great things as far as youth and children go. CASA and a few other programs that are really strong here in Conroe, Montgomery County. They've been here a long time, and but make a step. The station's a 501c3 and a nonprofit, and we support local business here at the Lone Star Community Radio Show. We'd like to, welcome those folks to come in here. Let us give whatever we can do to support as a guest or a show goer. There are 21 shows on this station, and they're all designed to support
that's awesome.
events like this.
Yeah, I didn't know
things
21. That's great.
Yeah, so be sure to share that with those folks, and we share it with you, our listening audience. You can support these groups in several ways other than writing a check. Now, a check's great. It goes a long way. Lets them do the magic they want to do, and that the immediate needs they know that need to be tended to, and they're more in tune. And I got to believe that because I can barely relate to my kids. needs. You know, like what? You need what? What do you need that for?
Yes,
you know, and I'm
yeah.
like, she doesn't need that. We're not going to buy that. You know what I mean? And it's like, well, no, they do. You know, this is what they need most. And you know, people in tune. You know, and I think the more you delve into it, you'll get more in tune with them and be able to give us the ask, and so people know exactly where they can help and how meaningful it can be.
Yes.
And I think that's a nice touch and an authentic one. And I like that a lot, and I know everybody else does too, and I know Buster does. I mean, cultivating a good community is his phrase.
Absolutely.
You know, I took that from him.
Yes.
So,
We love him.
yeah,
Yeah,
he
we do.
mentors me as well, and you know that. It's like, that's an interesting thing to say. You know, it's an interesting way to think about it. You know, and I thought, you know, yeah, you are.
Everybody can talk. It's about walking the walk.
It is. Well, Ashley, I want to thank you for coming and sharing
Yes, of
that.
course.
Do you have a
Thank
website or
you.
something where they can go
Yes.
donate and participate, buy tickets, and
Absolutely.
all that fun stuff?
For more information about Love Hills Youth and any upcoming events or anything that the public wants to do and contribute, just visit lovehillsyouth.com.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Simple.
lovehillsyouth.com.
Easy, simple.
Or you can
Very
just ask
easy.
Peyton Riley when you see her next.
Yes. Yeah. She's a wonderful artist.
Thank you, Ashley. I appreciate you coming on the show today, folks. We'll be right back for the Punch Your Texas Ticket segment of the show right after this. Every Friday, tune into Texas Ticket on Conroe's 104.5 and 106.1 FM with Armando Nino of Gull Lake Conroe, focusing on Montgomery County area events and places. Get a feel of the Texas spirit at the event, paired with guest and vendor interviews, event coverage, and ticket giveaways, and so much more. Join us Fridays and punch your Texas ticket. For more information on the show, visit irlonestar.com/Texas Ticket. Welcome back to the Texas Ticket. This is Armando with Wes Cernosek.
Hey, Armando, how are you, sir?
Fantastic. We're going to punch your Texas Ticket segment of the show. This is where you get to, well, not punch, you know, like you know,
Okay.
a little more Texan, right? A little more Texan,
Okay.
you know, a little bit. I mean, if you meet a guy from New York and you find out he bull rides for a living in Texas, but he was born in New York, you give him a little bit more. He's a little more Texan because he bull rides.
That's right. You should.
Right, a little bit. I mean, he's punched a ticket. He's
still from
doing
New York.
Texan
Still from
stuff.
New York, then.
I know, but we can pull that aside a bit if he knows how to smoke a brisket,
You're right. That makes a difference.
right?
If you can ride a bull and smoke a brisket, then 100% you could be a Texan.
If you swam barefoot, butt naked in the Frio,
And pull up a catfish.
and
Okay?
pull up a catfish
Noodle
with your
that thing.
hands, if you noodle a catfish, you might be a little more Texan.
That's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
right. So there's a lot of ways, right? We don't want to like close it out. If you weren't born here, you're not one of us. You know,
That's right.
no. There's plenty of ways to acclimate, to integrate.
There is.
You know, and you know, and it doesn't matter how you hydrate. You can still be a Texan.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right.
So a few events are coming up, and I want to run through those really quick. And I want to thank Ashley Cernosek, Miss Cernosek, for coming into the show today. And
She's great.
Love Peach. What a good cause.
peach.
She got to pick a cause, you know. She got to bring what she wanted.
Rebecca's
and
awesome, though.
She's all in it. Yeah. So I love her spirit about it. And also I want to thank some of our supporters, Conroe Cooling It and Heating at 936-297-3079. Meter beat any competitor's quote. 10-year warranty, free Wi-Fi thermostat, 0% interest, 1 year service. Okay, they're going to meet anybody's price. You can call them 936-297-3079, Conley Cooling and Heating. The Colonel. I asked, how many Colonels do you know? And I'm like, I don't know any Colonels. Well, wait, I do. Victory for Veterans Colonel. The Colonel is putting on the Victory for Veterans event. It's a VFV, a National 501(c) nonprofit. And they're doing the ride, the Hunger Crush ride that takes out tomorrow. So they'll be out there, and we're expecting over 100 bikes, good 20, 30 classics, maybe more, all veteran-owned, veteran-operated, and you know, some of them aren't, I'm sure, but you know, all are welcome, right? So anybody could come, right, and just register day of, tomorrow morning, Saturday morning. They're out there at 8 o'clock to get you registered. They're doing a 150 ride. It's rolling dice. It's having fun. They're going to have a good time. Go out towards the National Forest, down past Richardson and all that stuff we spoke of earlier. Mm-hmm. So that's the Colonel, and I wanted to make sure we mentioned him. And again, we did that. And we were talking about there's no such thing as kinda amazing.
Right. It's either amazing or not.
It's either is or isn't. That isn't a halfway term. Yeah. So when we talk about some of the things that are just that we regard as amazing, that's amazing.
Like the trick we saw earlier.
Mm-hmm.
That was amazing.
There was a couple in there. That $100 bill switch.
That was.
Yeah, he had to roll his sleeves back on purpose because he knew what we were thinking.
Yeah, he did.
He knew we were going to think he had that up his sleeve. Do you think maybe I don't know. Well, let's not speculate. Let's get some of this stuff out there. Let's see. That's the victory. Oh, the free concert in the park over at Heritage Park, right over here in Conroe, is every month during the summer, and they do this every year. Coming up, July 10th is the next one. That's the Eagles band, the Eagles tribute band.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and that's a fun group. So, the next event. American Medieval Federation is having their international event at the Lone Star Convention Center, and these guys are doing full armored MMA.
Full armored,
full contact. These guys are aiming for the fences. This is their international event where they fight 22 different countries are coming against the U.S. They just stole the title from Mexico, or just left Mexico for Mexico's Medieval Combat Federation Championships. So now we're in the World Championship phase where all the winners are coming together and compete. And they were saying Mexico's coming back for their gold, and they were straight up like, see them try. I'm like, okay, wow. This is broadcasted on 104.5 and 106.1 FM, and that's in Spanish. They can hear you, bro. They're coming. They're coming.
Hola.
Yeah, and there's hola. Yeah, so there is over a 1v1 events, male and female. There's 6v6s, 2v2s. It goes up all the way to a single event with over 100 participants on each side, fully armored, and they go to town. Yeah, last man. You win last man. No, actually, that was a good question. I asked about axes. Yes, hammers. Certain groups, certain coalitions, and they're different leagues. Like we have AFC, WWC. There's all different divisions or different leagues that have different requirements based. And some of the blackballed things are hammers and axes, so they switch out with these different ones.
So they're hurting themselves.
Oh yeah, full contact. I mean, the guys are, and their comment to me was armor works.
Armored.
Yeah,
better hope
and
so.
they got rules. You can't break the knees. You can't hit the caps. In certain places. Watch the necks and certain things that you are not allowed to hit. You can't drive in a hammer.
Swords?
Yeah.
Oh.
We had that sword on this desk right here. It's from right here all the way to about right there. Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, I'm like, oh, what do you do with this again?
Is this one night?
This is from August 7th to August 10th at the Lone Star Fairgrounds.
The whole weekend.
Lone Star Fairgrounds. So, 23 teams, multiple competitions, and those little bucklers, they look like little frisbees.
It's the World Championship.
World Championship. The shield's like this big, and they have like a rapier, a really thin sword, and they're like hummingbirds. They're moving so fast you can barely see them move, dude. They are just whipping it. And male, female competitions, and I think the real art's in the fencing. I mean, I don't know. Honestly, as a showgoer, no. Wow, that'd be great. Yeah. As a showgoer, I love that speed action. I mean, I'm just like, she's blocking that. I can't even see it. So there'll be no Triple Crown winner. There's no big guy this year, unfortunately. Sovereignty won the first one. The Kentucky Derby. Tomorrow will be the Belmont Stakes. But the Sovereignty wasn't allowed to run in the Preakness. So winning the Kentucky Derby.
You don't have to, because they're automatically in the next one.
Well, no, he beat the heck out of that horse and broke rules and regs. He got fined over $60,000.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he hit it too many times, and so they fined him. And so the coach and team decided they'd sit back on the Preakness. I mean, on the Preakness and bring him back for the Belmont Stakes. So our bet is on Sovereignty. And for the Belmont Stakes tomorrow, Saturday, June 7th. But again, there'll be no Triple Crown winner. It's not a possibility. Sovereignty didn't race in the Preakness. So just so you know, so you're bringing that banner up correctly when you're chatting about that. Texas Beyond's Gallery. It's out in Montgomery, Texas. They have an art gallery there, and it's Meet the Artist Day. Texas and Beyond Gallery. It's right there on Four Corners, Montgomery. Take a right. It's a little blue house on the left. Yeah, it's right there. And the gallery's huge. It's beautiful. It's unbelievable that it's there. I mean, I was shocked. I'm like, are you kidding me? This place is gorgeous. I've met several different artists through that gallery that are painters that I liked what I'm looking at. I'm like the old West ones. What were they called? The Louis L'Amours, the ones, the oils that all looked exactly the same. Well, his are just different. They're more of a Gunsmoke kind of look, and as long-armed, aren't gun out, lady with a parasol and a smoking gun, coming to get her husband. Just really cool. Anyway, so much there.
Is it open? Is it open all the time? Or?
It is open all the time, but on June 14th at 6 p.m. they're doing hors d'oeuvres, drinks, snacks, and I believe this is a free tour event. You can come out and mingle and check it out. But Hilda Rueda, and I've seen her work. I'm not familiar with the artist. I'm familiar with the art, and it's quite a bit, real patriotic. I've seen so far. I'm eager to see more of her stuff. But she's going to be there. It's Meet the Artist, and you can come out there for hors d'oeuvres, snacks, and hang out, visit, and see all the other works there. And Gabe is the other artist that I was mentioning with some of that other oil work. June 7th, also tomorrow, if you're in anywhere near Gale, Texas, you can see Aaron Tipton from 6 to 10 p.m. at the Coyote Country Store.
Where is Gale, Texas?
I think it's northwest.
Okay.
I am not 100% sure, but I saw Aaron Tipton. I said, well, we're about to share that. So one of our techs will go get their ticket punched. So Pine Market's got a free concert as well that they've been doing every month as well, similar to the Heritage Park Parks and Recreation event that with the tribute.
I haven't been to this Pine Market, but I've heard about it. It's a really pretty cool how it's all set up.
Yeah, where's the band? Oh, man. I'm not sure who's playing, but these interns, they give it to us every day, and I know that they do a free concert. June 6th, tonight, is their show, and it goes from 7 to 9, and they have it's totally free. Come out there and enjoy it. They have lots of free stuff to hand out and giveaways and out there. It's a lot of fun.
That's a good time, too. It'll start cooling down by then.
It is, and that place is nice, and it's all brand new. What's not to like? Right. So speaking of brand new, I heard you got a brand new pool. I saw that thing. It's got the little sprinklers, and yeah.
It's a year old.
Not
brand new anymore.
Yeah. Well, Sound Warehouse is, it's an old store. Do you remember Sound Warehouse?
I do.
Yeah. Well, it's also a band.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I didn't either. They're going to be at Papa's Ice House on Lake Conroe, the big pink building on Highway 105 West, going out to the lake right before you get to a Maurer Fine
They
Dining.
changed their logo today. Papa's Ice House. Yes, they've added. My phone's off.
Papa's got a new logo. What they add?
Yeah, they added some Luigi's.
Papa Luigi's.
Luigi's something.
Well,
outdoor.
Perry's dad used to own Papa Luigi's Pizza.
Oh,
that's how it started.
That's what it is.
Then they had the ice cream shop, and then he had the pink store in the Woodlands at the same location.
Right.
Yeah.
Since 1975.
Yeah.
That's when I was born.
Yeah. And he's been here. He was here 2-3 weeks ago right after the Montgomery County Fair. He came in and told us he came and told us about his barbecue cooking techniques. The mystery that goes behind
he has a cook-off. He has a cook-off coming up too.
Does he really?
Yeah. And we're gonna do that one too.
You're gonna cook?
Yeah, we're gonna cook on that
Ooh,
one.
Kind of be like Bucket Boy, like Hog Garbage.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I'm
waiting for them to reply. It's an all weekend thing. We're just
Perry,
not sure
let Wes play.
If we can bring, I'm not sure if we can bring RVs to stay the night. How that's gonna work yet? So we're waiting to hear back on.
Can we bring beer?
No, Perry will not let you bring beer.
Well, that was a good idea for a little while.
Yeah. Don't even try to sneak it because he will catch you.
And this one right here, Classic Truck Throwdown. Is that the Lone Star Throwdown?
No.
It's not LST, right? It's CST.
Yeah, this is
it's CTT.
Yep. This is more for classic trucks only, and it's still a great show.
Yeah,
it's not as big
have you
as
gone to
LST.
any of the others?
Yeah, I've gone to a lot of them.
Okay.
To all of them.
Okay, so it's coming up, and that'll be the 7th and 8th, Saturday and Sunday. Yeah, so
there's probably 800 to 900 entries still on that too.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can catch that, and that's at the Montgomery County Fairgrounds, and that's going to be all day Saturday, June 7th, and all day Sunday, June 8th, from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. both days. You can catch that at the Lone Star Fairgrounds. Go out and check that out. It's going to be a great show. It might be amazing. I think it's got enough eye candy for all those streamers and all those influencer type folks to go out there and get some good eye candy, some good content creation going on, and inspire that. But be sure to tag Conroe, tag the fairgrounds, tag where you're at. Everybody wants to know where you got those shots anyway. And final, I want to, Ashley brought us some notes. She did. She brought us her notes, and she takes good. She laminated it. Dang, Ashley.
She's a pro.
It's Saturday, June 28th.
This is for Charlie Diggs events.
This
the
is
one that's going to sing La Bamba.
Pandemonium held at Guitars and Classic Cars in Montgomery. That's on McCaleb Road. You go down a little bit. You go down past, take a left at Papa's, go down McCaleb where the
right
Sonic
across from
is.
Milstead's.
Yep, right across, and it's right next to Lakeway EV.
Yep.
Yeah, and you
Right
go
past
out
it.
there, and it's Guitars and Classic Cars, a really cool property. He's got spiced up just the right way, and they're going to do a 21 and up event. It's what happens at the Guitars and Classic Cars is what happens at Guitars and Classic Cars. Go on and catch that show, folks. And you know, I want to thank you, Wes, for coming in.
You're welcome.
I really do. I'm glad to see my old friend back, and here on the show today, and supporting some of the things that are close to my heart as well, folks. Thank you for watching the show. We'll see you next week right here on the Texas Ticket.
Thank you.
Turn your radio dial to the Texas Ticket.